Hey guys, so the after Thanksgiving, and I just wanted to hop on here real quick and talk about food addiction. So, is food addiction real? I hear so much everywhere. Like, I feel like I'm barraged with the message that food addiction is not real, especially on Instagram. You know, the moderation, don't restrict, the message is so strong. That I almost feel guilty or I don't know, I guess a little scared to even come on and say anything against that because it's so strong. But I feel like I'm just going to say like my little piece on here, my tiny little nano corner of Instagram. So I consider myself a food addict. So obviously I'm coming from that standpoint that I do believe food addiction is real. And also, I want to say too, like, look at the evidence. It's been proven again and again and again and again scientifically that sugar is absolutely addictive. So the fact that so many people try to say that it's not is a little strange. It's a little strange. Like, why are they trying to tell us that it's all in our head if the evidence is out there that it's very much real? It's very strange. And a little disconcerting. And so I just want to hop on here and say, like, if you feel that you're addicted to food, you very well could be. I'm not saying that you are or that anyone is. Like, I feel like only the person or, that person and someone who, perhaps someone who's, educated in food addiction could say that. But if you feel like you are, there's a good chance that you are. And there's so much shame and guilt. People are shaming us, guilting us that food addiction is not real. You can have a little bit, you just got to learn how. You feel like you're addicted to food because of something that you did in the past. You probably restricted. You had some kind of, something or other that you did makes you feel like you're addicted to food now. And it's just, I'm so over it, guys. I'm so over it. Like, yes, okay, anything, let me tell you something. Anything that makes you feel good can be addictive. You can be addicted to sex. You can be addicted to gambling. You can be addicted to porn. You can be addicted to video games. But they're going to say that you can't be addicted to food, which is, everybody knows that, come on, your mama gave you a cookie when you were upset. Why? Because it makes you feel better. Come on. We can absolutely be addicted to food. And here's the thing, too. I think people don't realize. So I'm just going to give an example. Like, my grandmother was an alcoholic, and she was a heavy smoker. So when she was in the hospital with lung cancer, they told her she couldn't smoke anymore. And she said, a life without smoking is not worth living. And the reason I use this example is because how many times have I heard somebody say, if I can't have a cookie again, I don't want to live life. If I can't eat pasta, that is not a life worth living. It is the same thing, guys. It's the same thing. Why? It's just food. If it's just food, it's just food. Like, why is it a big deal? It's a big deal because we're hooked. We're hooked on a lot of that stuff. Now, I'm not speaking for everyone. I'm speaking for myself, and I'm speaking for all those of us who do identify as food addicts. And the reason I'm kind of ranting about this is because, seriously, for how many years in my life I felt like I was a food addict, but I kept hearing the message, you can moderate. You can moderate if you just try hard enough. If you just do the right things, if you just talk to yourself, if you just do therapy. Guys, I did all of that. And it was great. The therapy was wonderful, but it wasn't enough to make me stop binging. It wasn't enough. Why? There's multiple reasons why. The therapy helped me deal with life problems, yes. but it's not going to take away the fact that I woke up in the morning saying I'm not going to do that behavior again. And by 8 or 9 o'clock, I was already doing that behavior again because my brain just couldn't stop thinking about it. And like, there's just so many things. I was in a 12-step group that was mixed. It wasn't for any one specific problem. So it wasn't for compulsive eating. It wasn't for anything like that. It was just a bunch of us ladies in a group. There was an ex-heroin addict. There was several alcoholics, myself who was a food addict, things like that. We were just in a mixed group, and a woman was talking, and she said, she was newly getting sober, and she was like, I'm just sitting here thinking, are you going to tell me I can't go out on the weekend and have a beer with my friends? Are you going to tell me that I can't have champagne at my wedding? I mean, you're going to tell me that I can't have, do shots on New Year's Eve? Like, this is horrible to me. Like, this is, it was such a horrible thing to her. And I just sat there and thought, how the same is that with food. Are you going to tell me I can't have cake at my wedding? Are you going to tell me I can't have Christmas cookies at Christmas? Are you going to tell me that I can't have, birthday cake on my birthday? Things like that. It's the same concept. The same exact concept. And the reason is because we're hooked. My husband, for example, he can take food or leave it. He doesn't really care. If I told him, you can't have cake on your birthday anymore, he'd be like, okay. It doesn't mean anything to him. Why? Because he's not addicted to it. So he doesn't care. My uncle has celiac disease. He breaks out in a horrible rash if he eats wheat or gluten. So, what did he do? He cut out gluten. He doesn't care. It doesn't bother him. Why? Because he's not addicted. For me, cutting out bread and cake and things like that was just the same as the alcoholic. Are you going to tell me I can't eat that anymore? That sounds like a life not worth living. So I know this is kind of ranty, and it'll resonate with some. It might be some kind of controversial, but I just want to point these things out. Like, if you feel like you're a food addict, please, please, please stop letting people tell you that it's all in your damn head. Could be in your head, maybe. But if it's not, it's not. Stop trying to fit into the role that somebody's telling you have to be. Just because somebody says that food addiction isn't real, where's the actual scientific evidence? The scientific evidence says that sugar is just as addictive as cocaine. And here's the thing with that stuff. Not everybody gets addicted to everything. Like my husband that I said that doesn't care about cake. He doesn't care about cake. He likes cake or dessert or whatever. But if I told him he couldn't have it anymore, he just wouldn't have it anymore. It wouldn't be a big deal to him. For me with alcohol, I'm not an alcoholic. I could care less about alcohol. I can have a half a glass of wine once a year. I can take it or leave it. If somebody told me I couldn't have alcohol anymore, I'd be like, okay, because it's nothing to me. And the same with gambling or something. I don't gamble. It's not hard for me to walk away from. If something is hard for you to walk away from, it might be an issue. And that's just that. And, there's some people that can moderate. And the people that can moderate, please stay there. Please stay there. Like I try to teach my kids, don't try not to overdo it. Just, have what you want and this and that. I don't know how my kids are going to turn out. I know that I have an issue with food addiction. I know that alcoholism is strong in my family. It's strong in my husband's family. I encourage my kids just to not drink. Just to not open that can of worms. But at the same token, if they're going to, do it responsibly. But anyways, so if you can moderate, go ahead and do that. But if it's killing you, guys, I was up to almost 400 pounds because I'm doing this narrative that I can moderate. Intuitive eating, which is wonderful for so many people, it's not for someone like me. Okay, and if it's not working for you, it's not working for you. You don't have to be that person. I wanted to be the person that could do intuitive eating. That wasn't in the cards for me. Yeah, I gained 100 pounds doing intuitive eating, and I was already at my max weight. I thought, well, hell, I'll just try intuitive eating right now because I know I'm not going to get any heavier than I already am. And if I gain 10 or 20 pounds, okay, then so be it. Yeah, I gained 100 pounds. Gained 100 pounds and, working with my therapist and everything. And she kept encouraging me to keep going, keep trying. And yeah, it's not for everyone. So I just want to say that this is the day after Thanksgiving. Just look at things, but if you feel like you're a food addict, then you quite possibly could be, and I want to validate that feeling for you, or that thought, and just look into it, because it was incredibly hard for me to let go of the food at all. I couldn't get a single day, okay? That's how hard it was for me. Just like an alcoholic that can't get a single day sober, I couldn't get a single day sober, food sober. But when I did, I have to say, like, I don't sit here and crave things. I just don't. I don't care anymore. I've sworn off. Yes, I've sworn off, sugar and flour and stuff. And I don't care. I don't care. I made gingerbread cookies yesterday. I made pumpkin pie. Something else. What did I make? Pecan tassies. Made those for Thanksgiving for the normal eaters. I have a lot of normal eaters in my husband's family, which we celebrated with his family. And is there something wrong with them eating gingerbread cookies and pecan tassies? Not a bit. They don't have a problem with it. They can have a couple and move on. Yeah, and I made those. Did I eat them? Nope. Did I want to? No. Why? Because I don't have the substance in my body anymore. So there's a great, great, great freedom that comes from letting them go and just not eating them. For someone like me, I consider myself an abstainer. So I just wanted to hop on here real quick and talk about that and encourage anyone, if you're doubting what you're doing, if you think you're a food addict, please, there's no right way. There's a right way. It's something that works for you. All right? Don't let anybody tell you that it's all in your head, or that it's something that you did, that now you're a food addict because you did all this stuff in the past. And as I like to say in my program, once a pickle, always a pickle. I can't not be a food addict anymore. And, I'm 42 years old. I figured out something was wrong with me at about 34, so about 8 years ago. And it took me a long, long time to admit I was a pickle. Not going to be a cucumber again. Dang it. So, yeah, just look into it. And if you already know you're a food addict, leave a comment down below. People need to know that we exist, that we are real, that we're here, that we own it. Okay? And you guys have a great holiday weekend out here, Black Friday shopping. Fun. Have a great weekend, guys.